Today and tomorrow, we're at the Homesteaders of America conference. It's after lunch now. We're on our way to go listen to a passive water workshop or talk. I'm not sure, I guess what to call it, but we're on our way to go listen to that. So
we rehabilitate them, and we must have 20 big hoses that we can run down into the pasture. See the little white tank next to the cow that's off to the right-hand side of the picture.
We love that stuff, and if we're going to move the needle on our country as a whole, then we got to start right in our own neighborhoods, our own backyards, and our own communities. So I spray foam the wall. Yep. Sealed it up tight, no air gets in there, it stays a consistent temperature, and in the summertime it keeps the water cool, in the wintertime it keeps it no problem.
Would you rather do that or bury them?
I definitely would rather do that. If I'm going to do maintenance on the tank, I don't like going around. Too much laps, too much everything. Too much crawling in, crawling out. I can look right here at my tanks. Much easier. I got two 1,500 gallon tanks, 3,000 gallons. Everything depends on how many people, what your usage is, and rainfall, right? So you don't want to live like, in the desert and have 1,000 gallons worth of collection, because you get one shot at collecting rain. We have friends there that successfully live off of rain, but they got 25,000 gallons worth of collection. You know what I'm saying? See you tomorrow. So you got to be able to, fix that system to your needs. Me and Stace and the kids occasionally, and our animals, and everything runs off of it. Off of 3,000? Off of the 3,000. But we get 40 inches of rainfall a year. Because that water's so good. Feels good. Like we're in the hotel now, it's soft water. Yes. That's the worst water.
He fell in the shower this morning.
Especially if you get it hot. That stuff you're breathing, that stuff's terrible for you.
we're on our way to go into the second day of HOA.
We didn't get to talk anymore last night. We were both too tired to. We'll take you around with us today.
I don't suggest barbed wire now that I know what I know. I would suggest, a tall fence, a woven wire fence. You don't get welded wire fence. And the reason why is because if you're moving welding wire fence or just over time, they actually just spot weld the crosses on the fences. And as sure as you're breathing air right now, it's going to come apart. So all you're doing is prolonging. You think you're spending a little less money, but all you're going to be doing is fixing fence again. So
that's a nugget.
You want to get the woven wire fence.
I don't want to go off into la-la land and mysticism, but it is important to realize the sacredness of life and the responsibility that comes with taking a life. And I think that in general, we earn the right to participate in the life, death, decomposition, regeneration, life, death, decomposition, regeneration cycle as we honor the life in sacredness as it's lived. It's one of the beauties of pastured poultry. Remember, it's not pasteurized. Pastured poultry is one of the single biggest components of it is that we are trying to create a respectful, honoring life for the bird, which then makes the death a thing of sacrifice as opposed to a thing of sacrilege. That's what separates the act that we're going to do from a place that's without meaning to a thing that is with meaning. And we definitely believe that exposing young children to this is really good, to find out the chickens don't talk and the chickens don't understand. And so I'm going to talk you through the process as we go through. But even though I've killed, hundreds of thousands of chickens in my life, I never approach this just nonchalantly.
This much of it is carbs, this much of it is proteins and fats and vitamins, right? That is chock full of pumpkin seed. Where does pumpkin seed fit in like a natural diet? It's a big protein boost, fat boost food, right? Here it is in huge quantities. Now, when I'm feeding my pigs and chickens in the winter, and maybe my cows are producing less milk, so I have less surplus milk to give them, then fats and proteins become an issue for me. Only with this, they're not, right? There are a few things I don't like doing. I don't like weeding my dinner. I don't like cooking my dinner, right? And these are crops that I don't have to do that with. And I don't like cultivating my dinner. So I want really, really low maintenance, easy to grow crops that fit a big part of my animal's diet and store a long time.
This is a raised bed that when they ship it to your house, it's flat or pretty close to flat, and then that would be a quick way to make a structure for your raised bed. I mean, it would still take the same amount of time to fill it, but that would be
It's not too bad a height either.
yeah.
This is the company that makes these here.
The first time I'm interviewing, so go gently on me here, but I'll let them introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about their channel, their farm.
I'm Courtney and this is Kenny. We are Life on Beagle Road. We raise Nigerian dwarf goats, a couple alpacas, some chickens, and today we're taking home some quail.
Which I just found out about. I had no clue we were doing this, but yeah, quail it is.
Yes. So we are...
you may explain the channel.
Sure, you can explain the channel.
It's a channel where you tell me what to do, and then I have to do it. No?
That sounds right. Yes.
That sounds right.
Yes.
No, we make a lot of mistakes. We screw a lot of stuff up, and I think that it's important to show people that we all screw it up, but we learn from it. And then the most important part is you gotta be able to laugh at yourself, because seriously, we are all playing with chicken poop and playing in the dirt and whatever else. So if you can't laugh at that, then
We deal with way too much poop for it to be serious, so...
yeah, totally.
Did you guys go over to that farm or that place that had the 2-layered quail coop on it?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's where our quail are
Okay.
coming from. We met them last year
That was really neat.
when we were
is
here.
cool.
Yep. So I've been following them on social media, and of course then they posted that they were gonna have the quail here, and I'm like, oh,
How far away are you guys?
2.5 hours.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
not
so-
far.
We're like in central Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So
Where are you guys from?
Ohio.
Okay.
So it was about 9 hours to get here.
it's a hike.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't think I want to.
Was it worth it for you? Did you,
Yeah,
you
I've
have a
had
good
fun.
time? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is our first time, so.
It'll change for you as you do it. Like you'll just start warming up, and like we were talking about community earlier. You're going to start to build that community outside of here because of here. And like Don Bradner is someone we met last year. He has a small channel as well, but we were really good friends. Went to dinner last night, had a blast. Last year you got all excited because you were going to meet Rachel from that 1870s homestead, and the two of you hugged like you were sisters that you never met.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just that's what this is all about. It's
Yep.
amazing. So,
Yeah, we got to meet Jess and Maya yesterday, and that made our day. so-
yeah.
Nice. Very exciting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
I'm glad we got to meet you guys.
So we're back for my second interview. I'll let you introduce yourself. And
I'm just some guy off the internet that they met. I'm just kidding. I'm Papa Sprout with Loma Acres Homestead. Glad to meet y'all.
they're another small channel like us, and lately they've been kind of busy, so they haven't had very much time to post. But they do have some videos up that you can go back and watch. And are there more videos coming soon, or?
Well, we've been making a video here at the conference. We actually did just make about a 30-second video 2 days ago announcing that we were on the way to the conference.
Well, and you should have time to watch that if you, when you go subscribe, just watch that 30-second video at least.
Yeah, we have more videos coming. I'm a construction worker that runs my own construction business, and in the summertime, it's from before daylight until after dark. And you know, as well as anybody, when you work that long in a day, you don't want to be doing videos. You don't want to be dealing. You just want to come home and go to bed. But that daylight's getting shorter, so the work hours are coming a little bit shorter. So videos are going to be coming from us again here soon.
Well, he gets to do the thing that I really, really want to do. And that's keep bees. I'm gonna try this next.
How many
spring.
hives do you have?
I have two.
Two.
Hives, and they're absolutely bursting at the seams this year. They have, it's amazing. We've had such bad weather in Ohio, and gardens have failed everywhere. Farmers are, who knows how many of them are going to make it this year because of the way the weather. It was really all over the country, but especially bad on us. We went from about 30 days, I think it was, of rain. I know it was at least 27 days of rain in a row. We haven't seen rain since then except for sprinkles here and there. And yet the bees have went out and found flowers and found other sources of food. Popsicles. One of my videos shows where it doesn't show them at the popsicle. We're trying to figure out what in the world is this red nectar in there, right? And someone said, "Hey, dummy, it's a popsicle." It was like one of those dope moments. But yeah, I challenge you, jump in, keep them bees. It's a little bit of money to get involved, but it doesn't have to be tremendously bad. And to me, I was scared to death to do it. And then I just stepped out and I said, you know what, time to jump in. I did it, I've got them. And now they're just a place I can go to be serene and patient, and it's calming to me. So I think you'll enjoy it.
So you guys only have a quarter acre.
Correct.
You can grow food there, right?
Yeah, it's a suburb of Dayton, and it's a subdivision, and we don't grow all of our food by any stretch of the imagination. But what we did is we cordoned off our backyard, literally 1/4 of what is our backyard. And I don't know what that works out to as far as a half an acre. It works out to 1,200 square feet.
Okay.
And in that 1,200 square feet, you can have an early garden in this area and then harvest it while this middle of the season garden is growing. And then you can have a late garden back there. And you can also do a lot of companion planting. So by doing those things in companion planting, I can take that 1,200 square foot garden and I can turn it into the equivalent of a 4,500 square foot garden.
Yeah, so that's something that I really appreciate of these people who live in town, is just start where you are. And Jess says that, just start. And that is so true. We used to live in town. We really haven't said very much of that on our channel, but we did used to live in town, and it is possible to grow food. So just use Loma here, or I know the Citystead, he has a small lot in town. Just grow. So I really appreciate that. So this is interview 3. I'm real pro at this now. I'll let you guys introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jess.
I'm Tim.
From J Love Adventures.
You want to tell us a little bit about what you got going on with your gardening?
Gardening.
You have a YouTube channel.
I have a YouTube channel. It's mostly gardening. A little bit of other stuff thrown in there, but I'm starting to do more canning videos now as things are coming in and being done. And I'd like to get into crafting videos later on in the winter when I don't want to leave my room.
What kind of crafts do you do?
Lots of things. If I had all the equipment in the world, pretty much everything. But I draw, try and paint, although that's messy, so I don't like having it around with little kids. Yeah. But I do have some. I like to write a lot, but that's not crafting, but it's just something I like to do. I do scrapbooking and just little things, jewelry.
So maybe that's going to be coming to your channel this winter.
Yeah.
And then you just started gardening this year?
Last year.
Last year. So it's your second year gardening.
Second year gardening.
How'd that go?
I've been beautifully, wonderfully blessed this year. So many people have talked about, such a tough gardening year with the weather being all crazy. And it was totally crazy. You can't tell it by looking at my garden. Well, you're starting to because things are dying off.
Yeah,
but
it's getting to the first frost dates come in.
It's hard to even, I have had failures this year, but it's hard to see them through all the successes. It's just crazy. And
we lucked out where our location is. We're like, we have a creek going through the backyard, but we're also down in a valley. So when we do get rain, it drains off rather quickly. Yeah. But it's not.
So we had the flooding rain, but we didn't actually flood.
Right.
That's good.
Right.
So You live in town or on a smaller lot, or?
We are on a quarter acre. We are just outside of city limits.
Okay.
So we're rural, but barely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's
and it's a rented lot.
Okay.
So my landlord hasn't said anything about my garden, so it keeps getting bigger.
We're not trying to
but
push
no
the
animals right
boundary.
now.
Yeah.
You know, not until we own it.
So say with a quarter acre, it's kind of hard to have animals.
Right.
But you can, like, you're gardening, and that's good.
Yeah. Gardening whatever I can, even stuff that you would really want, if you're going to produce it, you would want to do a lot more. Like I'm trying peanuts this year, but I'm learning how to grow them, seeing how they grow, seeing the space that they need, the watering that require, the light that they require, learning what I can, even though I'm not even making enough to do 1 jar of peanut butter.
Yeah, but still, you live in Ohio, and you don't traditionally think of growing peanuts in Ohio, so that's cool that you tried
No,
it.
you don't. And I am, and I don't know if they're working yet. I know they're making peanuts, but they grow underground, so you can't tell until you pull them up. And I haven't pulled them up yet, so I don't know how well it works. But I'm doing a lot more experimenting this year on what to grow and pushing limits on how much of a growing season we get.
So yeah, I mean that's really cool that like Loma that we just interviewed. Small lot and you're trying all you can.
Yep. Do what you can where you're at.
Yep.
Did you end up having fun at Homesteaders of America?
Yeah. After I got over the car ride here, I don't think we said in the video yesterday, but we got lost on the way down here. But that was on Thursday. We came down Thursday and then stayed the night. That way we didn't have to drive all night to get here. And we got lost on the way, so that kind of started the trip off on a not so happy note, but I ended up having fun. I'm glad I came.
And would you come back next year given no restrictions? Like time or money?
Probably. I mean, I really did have fun. The most fun part was probably talking to everybody. I did enjoy the lectures. They were really informative, the ones I went to. I didn't try to make one every slot. And that gave me a chance to go around and talk to different vendors when they weren't slammed, which was really nice. I learned a lot, especially from the couple that wrote the Independent Farmstead, which I will be buying a copy of. They ran out of books. They had some yesterday, but I didn't have any money on me yesterday. And when I went and found Nathan today, they had sold out. So we'll probably buy that soon. Maybe it'll be this winter, I'm not sure. But we'll be buying that book and reading it, so you'll probably hear more about that book sometime.
So we'll leave a link to the publisher and the book on Amazon in the description down below.
We saw Doug and Stacy again. This is our 3rd time meeting them. And we got to meet Jess and Maya from Roots and Refuge Farm. We'd never seen them in person before. Yeah, we got a picture with them. So, then we met Ben and Andrea from VW Family Farm. We didn't get pictures with a whole bunch of people. I didn't even think about it. The only reason I got a picture with Jess is because everyone was taking pictures with Jess. So I took pictures for the couple in front of us. So that was fresh on my mind. But for the most part, it never even occurred to me. We met a lot of people. It's hard to say if that was my favorite. I really don't know what my favorite part was. Just the whole experience was really cool. So as a first time HOA goer, I enjoyed it. I would recommend, if you can go to that one. But I've said this on a couple other places, like on other people's videos, that even if you can't come to HOA, there's probably a meetup close to you, and it might just be a meetup. It might not be a conference, which just go. I'm not going to guarantee that you'll enjoy it, but just more than likely if you go with not expectations or whatever, you'll enjoy it. I probably had too many expectations of this because I don't know how, it was just overwhelming at first because I wanted to do everything, but you can't do everything. Just go and enjoy it. Don't stress about it.
Thank you for watching our trip to HOA and coming along with us as we went. I hope you learned something from this trip, and I know we sure did. We'll probably share things that we learned as we come back to them or we remember them. I got to sit in on Joel's second portion of his lecture on chicken butchering and keeping chickens, and that was really fun. I really enjoy listening to Joel's lectures and Joel talk. I have the audio version of This Ain't Normal, and it's one of my favorite audiobooks. And then I got to sit in on Jason from Sow the Land. He talked about how digital marketing can be used to make you money on your homestead, and I thought that was a really well thought out and done topic. And Jason has a good understanding of all the different ways that you're impacting your homestead through your social media and YouTube. So that was really informative. I saw where you can sign up for a membership to go back and watch all these classes on HOA, their Homesteaders of America conference, or it's the homesteadersofamerica.com. You can go down and find where you can get a membership and go back and watch all these lectures. If you didn't get a chance to come, that'd be a good way to soak up a lot of the information that was delivered. We got to meet hand-hewn farms out of Fresno, Ohio. They do custom butchery workshops. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
They do custom butchery workshops, and they had some knives that they work with a knife maker.
They had leather aprons.
Leather apron. They have somebody make. They said that those have absolutely never been on the website or any website, because they can't keep ahead of their own shows and showing it off at their workshops. So, but I would keep watching it. If you want a leather apron, you should start watching there and see if they can get out in front of that, because they've changed leather workers, so maybe that new leather worker can get out in front of it.
We asked them about doing a beef butchering workshop at our farm because we have beef, and it's probably not in the immediate future, but I would like to start butchering our own beef for our personal use, which we would only need to butcher probably about one a year. But I think that would be really cool to say that that cow lived their whole life on our farm, and then we got to say that they died a peaceful death and they didn't have to go off farm. So they said that the beef workshops are trickier to do because, and I hadn't thought about it, when we were talking about a hand-hewn farm, they said 14 days is about the minimum you want to do. And so it's tricky to do a beef workshop because of that hang time. So they said that they recommend doing a pig butchering workshop, which is a three-day workshop, and it's all back to back consecutive days. So we probably will try to fit that into our schedule. They said beef and pork are really similar, just beef is on a larger scale. So that's probably coming in the future. I'm not sure how long it'll be. I don't know if it'll be next year. With having a little one, it takes more planning. I'm not going to say it's necessarily hard. It just takes more planning. And honestly, if you even want to say it's hard, hard is not the same thing as bad. Someone I follow on Instagram, she's not homesteading related at all. It's M is for mama. She came up with that. Hard is not the same thing as bad. So we will try the future to go one of those pig butchering workshops. Now maybe only one of us can go. I'm not sure. That's something that we want to do in the future. From talking to people at this conference.
I also, I've always really not wanted to keep rabbits, and we might keep rabbits in the future because listening to, do you remember who that was this morning? I think it was this morning. Maybe it was yesterday. Stony Ridge?
No, I think, was that Seeds for Generation?
Yeah, listening to Seeds for Generation.
I'm not sure what his name is.
I can't remember what his name is. It was the male half of Seeds for Generation. He talked about their farm there, and he said that they raise rabbits, and he was Jerry's giving me a no on the rabbits, but he was saying that they raise rabbits. Jerry's giving me a no on the rabbits because Jerry doesn't like the eyes.
Okay,
the red eyes.
To be honest, that is creepy.
Okay. The
fair,
red-eyed rabbits are really scary looking. He was talking about rabbits, and he was saying that that everybody says chickens are the perfect meat, but he said that a rabbit is a lot easier to leave in its feedable state as meat up till you're ready to use it than a chicken is, because the current chickens that are used are the Cornish crosses, and they can eat themselves to death. It's much harder for that to happen with a rabbit, so you can store it as something that isn't in your freezer. And he thought they were much easier to butcher. Said something to the guys at Hand Hewn Farms, and one of them talked to me and said that the rabbits are much easier to butcher than a chicken. They said that probably the kill is harder, but the rest of it is easier, so I'd be willing to give it a shot. I've never, up until we started raising our own chickens, I've never butchered anything. So I didn't go hunting or any of that. So cleaning animals I find tricky because I don't know what I'm doing. Although after watching Joel do those chickens, probably I can do that much better now. So I would recommend, if you know somebody that can teach you how to do that you go learn how to do it. You don't try it on your own, because I think that knowledge, hands-on with somebody that knows what they're doing, would really be worth it. Alright, well, I know my light's disappearing that you can see, so I'm going to say that we really had a great time, and I'm going to reiterate that, but I'm going to say that there are people in your community that have this knowledge. And even if it's not a meetup, there are people, old-timers, that still remember how to do a lot of these things and why you do a lot of these things. Even if they can't do it anymore, the knowledge they have would be amazing if you could soak that up for a little bit. Go talk to them.
So Nathan, what do you think of Berkeley Springs, West Virginia here? What do you think of the Apple Butter Festival?
Yeah. There's a parrot on somebody's shoulder.
We're in Maryland, but it didn't say welcome to Maryland. I feel gypped.
We'd like to thank Loma Acres for pushing us to go ahead and interview Life on Beagle Road, because that would have been a real tragedy to have stood there and got to talk to them and to have not interviewed them. So thank you very much, Loma.